What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 397 of Opinions May Vary. I'm your host, Jared. My co-host, the Alex.
Hi.
It's been a while.
You okay?
I'm happy to be back.
Mm-hmm.
It has been, for me, it's been a vacation. I've just been, cheering Alex on.
You were part of the last one.
I helped a little bit, but to be honest, I came in and I swooped in and just took half the credit. Like, I uploaded the thing. The hardest part, and I willed myself through it too. I was like, I got to do this for Alex, because Alex did. I want to make sure everyone is aware of this. And I'm talking about last week, or the last episode we did with the pilot for StarWell. That was nothing with me. That was all Alex. That's his baby. I want to make sure that I get no credit for that. I want that to be established.
You do the end credit voiceover.
I did the end credit voiceover that Alex handed me. I forgot someone's name.
We both did.
Shout out to Babs. Babs, we will make that up to you. Babs killed it in StarWell. By the way, if you haven't listened to it yet, go back to our last episode. It's on YouTube, youtube.com/OMVpodcast. It's also right on our website, omvpodcast.com.
It's on SoundCloud.
It's on SoundCloud too. What's our SoundCloud?
StarWell Foundation.
StarWell Foundation. And you can listen to the pilot episode of the audio drama that Alex wrote, directed, produced, cast, everything, edited.
Edited was the most important part.
Yeah, everything.
He's all the noises in the back.
He's the grumbles.
He's some of the grumps.
I'm the truck driving. I'm two explosions.
Yep.
No, I'm not those.
But Alex put
together a couple of tires
It
squealing.
was a really neat thing. But it's not, the joke that I was getting at is all I had to do was upload it, because I had to post it on our site and all that stuff, because historically that's something that I've done. I retooled the words a little bit for the post, and then I had to get the image for YouTube.
Yeah.
Alex made the clip art for the thing, and he sent it to me. Here it is.
Logo.
The logo. Excuse me. And getting that to the proper YouTube specifications when you have no photo editing experience whatsoever aside from Microsoft Paint is a lot of trial and error and a lot of Googling. How do I do? Mm-hmm. How do this? Mm-hmm. And at one point I was like, you know what, whatever, it looks fine. And I was like, no, it doesn't look fine. It looks like shit. I was like, Alex has been slaving away at this for weeks, putting this together, and I can't half-ass this stupid picture. So I didn't stop until it was right. Applaud me. give me credit. I'm just kidding. It's amazing. That's my 3-minute intro. By the way, Colin's here joining us this week.
Hey guys, what's up? Thanks for having me on again.
We're gonna have it's a long time in the making. This was, I believe, the longest time between Colin episodes.
I think so.
Yeah, I rested my pipes a little bit, practiced some things I'm gonna say on the podcast. It's all outdated stuff.
It's from the Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's all far from home. Let me tell you. Oh man, Marvel lost the rights to Spider-Man. I'm here to talk about that. Yeah, crazy. No, I'm excited to be back. I always like coming on and talking to you guys.
You can hear Colin's voice.
Yeah.
In the pilot episode of the StarWell Foundation.
Yes. Yeah.
Pilot season. There's 2 episodes.
Right. Yes. I've been adjusting.
Yeah. You'll recognize me as the modulated voice of Dark Tective. Mm-hmm. Which is the dopest name. In my head, he fights with a collapsible baton. But that's just my own head canon.
I'm okay with that.
Cool, sweet.
It's canon now.
I'm gonna commission Brett. Can you draw me as the guy I play in the show? Because I'm a narcissist. No, but honestly, the first episode of the show came out sweet. So, and I like listening to it as a fan. I'm barely in it, but it's just cool to be like, fuck yeah, this sounds like a legit thing.
I'm trying.
And then the credits started playing, and I was like, who's that? I know that voice. I was like, oh, it's Jeremy, my best friend.
It only took 2 takes.
Really?
Yep.
There's a lot of names. There's a lot of people in the credits.
It was especially, I am not good at, this is the real good shit that people want to listen to. I'm not good at reading out loud. I stumble a lot, and I get because I look ahead, and I read the words ahead, and I forget to read the words that I'm supposed to be reading now.
So prepped.
Again, applaud me for my efforts in the first pilot episode.
Super happy for you
of StarWell. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I came over for an hour, and I am now etched in the StarWell lore.
It was a tense.
Oh,
hour
Alex,
'cause
you did okay too.
I
But
hadn't-
JR.
I hadn't finished editing it yet. So his first listen was also my first listen
Nice.
to the complete thing.
Yeah.
But
Satisfied?
uh,
I was asking Jeremy.
It was a lot of, who's that?
how do you pronounce the name?
And then he'd tell me who it was. I'm like, no, it wasn't.
It's like, wow,
And then we start fighting.
Tenebron needs a lozenge, like, or 12. That character.
It's just what he sounds like.
Yeah.
He's been through
It's
some
just-
stuff.
He's
Yeah,
very
okay.
he's very mean.
Go
Yes.
back and listen to
Please,
the
yeah.
first pilot episode.
And then listen to the next one.
The next one coming out next month. Keep your eyes out. That's gonna do
Honestly,
it.
I was bummed after I was done. I was like, oh, fuck, I gotta wait for another one. I'm used to the Netflix model. Give me every episode of
everything.
the season.
Just binge
That's
it all
how
one day.
that's how they
Yeah,
get you.
I can binge that
That's
shit.
how they get you.
Yeah.
We do actually have topics to talk about besides ourselves. So I guess we can get to it. It's been a while. We've been doing some other extraneous stuff. Extraneous? That's not the right word. Extra curricular.
Curricular?
Nailed it. We figure, what kind of nerds would we be? I mean, we're in a nerd cave and all. Alex is nerd.
Don't ever say that.
Hmm?
Don't ever say that.
You don't want.
We're in your
you-
jock haven.
You know better.
Let's talk about Star Wars. Star Wars came out. Star Wars is done, apparently, the movies. There's some stuff that went out. People saw the Star Wars. And, let's gang up on each other for having differing opinions on it. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, it's not the. I presume not this. Obviously, it's not the last Star Wars movie. We'll probably get another Star Wars movie down the line, but I guess it's the last of the mainline Star Wars
Right.
films, the Roman numeral crawl ones, right?
Yeah.
Um,
I honestly have no idea. Like, would they? I'm just gonna also say preclude again. I don't have my vocab right now with me. I'm rusty. We can safely assume there's most likely going to be spoilers. If you have not seen,
Oh yeah.
if you have not seen Rise of Skywalker yet, maybe take care of that and then revisit.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
otherwise, you might have something spoiled, and we don't want to ruin your fun.
Right. And there is things in this movie that are that can be spoiled. It's not like, oh, we're gonna give away some plots, but like there's
Yeah.
actively twisty things and reveals.
Yep.
Don't
wind up like me with Force Awakens.
Right.
I had
With
that-
Han Solo.
Had that ruin with Twitch
Yeah.
chat. So I was really good this time. I hid everything. Like not opening like Twitter comments and stuff like that was very difficult for me in certain moments. There's a lot of sports happening. Sometimes you want to look at the things. I was like, no, I'm not going to do it.
And you didn't
I'm not going to risk it.
you didn't see it for like a week or something, didn't you? Did you not
Yeah.
go like right away?
It took me some time to get the schedule right with the missus because I had to see it with my wife. So getting that like put together when we could actually find time was tough. So we couldn't see it. Like we saw Last Jedi 2 days after it came out. So it wasn't that tough, but this one was. I had to like actively avoid spoilers for about a week, which felt like an eternity.
Impressive.
What can it give me more applause? This is all about me.
No, I mean honestly, it's tough to be because I know you're on social media, whether or not you're engaged with it, posting your own stuff. But I know you read entertainment news sites and things like that. So it's just sometimes when these things come out, like immediately, it's
People look
everywhere.
to ruin everyone else's good time.
Yeah, and even beyond that, like people are really into spoilers without spoiling, and we'll put up pictures that are like not related but are, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you ever see
Yes,
It's a picture
I
from
Meme
SpongeBob or something.
Yeah, and it's like, guys, this is still spoilers. Like, don't. Regardless,
I unfollowed a very not so of someone who I have been friends with for a very long time on Instagram for a week because they straight up posted a spoiler, and whether they know it or not, like, yeah, you can tag it as a spoiler on Instagram, but when I'm scrolling my Instagram feed, I see the picture first.
Yeah.
Anyways,
No, that's fair. That's fair. And Alex, you waited to see it too. Did you see it recently?
I was at least 3 weeks out.
3 weeks out from
its open
from the
date.
flick. Yeah, it's still playing, right? I would
Yeah.
imagine.
probably
Yeah.
too much money to be made.
Yeah, I believe as far as like that storyline goes, like that family arc, like that's it right there. Those 9 movies are done.
Right.
And like we'll get like other things that may exist within the timeline or things that come before or after. but I don't think we're gonna get another like
trilogy.
Here's what happens with Leia's ghost or something.
Yeah, I think that's what it's set up to be. But I mean, I think when it comes to canon stuff and companies owning a created license, like I think they could just be like, yeah, we're gonna do another one.
I
Here's
feel like
episode 10.
There's too much money to be made.
You
I
can
feel like
just-
they can't resist.
Yeah, you can just make up the rules as you go. Like,
So once you have your established like beginning of your main story and then the end of your main story, it's like prequel movies. It's like the main character is not going to die because he has to show up eventually.
sure.
So, and like when you have such an important major ending, it's not like they could just say, "Well, they defeated the biggest, worst, mainest bad guy, and then we'll have a new bad guy."
Yeah.
It's like we'll just bring Ray back for episode 13, whatever. What number is that? 10? Will that be 10?
10.
Hey, I'm confused. You can't have a new bad guy?
So, but they invested so much in eventually dealing like they finally got rid of the Sith. The Sith are gone. They finally got all of them. There was the Emperor the whole time. We finally dealt with the Emperor. And it's like once you do the biggest bad guy, how do you just keep going and go like, we'll just do this again? Will it really compare? We already did it.
I don't know. I mean, Rise of Skywalker was dog shit, so I don't think it would be hard to follow that.
By the way,
Yeah, I mean-
Colin is of the opinion he didn't like Rise of Skywalker.
No, I didn't. I make no comments, but I didn't enjoy the movie, and I get what you're saying because like they did the big epic, several movie villain. The thing that has been the problem for so long is officially dead again. But I mean, I think you can make another. I think you could make a flick and have a bad guy be a smaller scale bad guy, and still it could just be a bad guy with a gun.
But it would have to be. I figure it shouldn't. But it shouldn't be like the gang and Ray again. It could be someone else.
Could be. I mean, it should be. The problem with the sequel trilogy is that it became too behooven to the old movies that it didn't go with Ray and the gang. Like they didn't really have much to do, and even the importance that they had, like Ray, was important because of the old movies. Yeah, I mean, they didn't establish beyond old canon. They existed to be conduits for like nostalgia rather than like, okay, this is their movies now, so we're gonna follow them. I think Rise of Skywalker didn't do it for me in terms of like a finale to this trilogy. Because of that, I'm not satisfied with Poe and Finn's arc because they didn't really have any. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you can say, they went from this to this. But there was a lot of regression between the storytelling in this movie from The Last Jedi. And I feel that this was a big letdown for me. And there's a lot of ways. I don't want to talk for too long and just list off my negative stuff. So I mean, I'll comment as we kind of go because I don't mean to be the spirited one.
Have we seen too much as far as like major arcs or like major events to then come to this one and be like, well, this is supposed to be the best, and then find yourself a lot of going, oh, that's it? Was that it? Is that more?
It's certainly possible. With this though, I didn't go into this one thinking I can't wait for the big giant threat. Like, how are you gonna like a super billion Death Star? Like, I was never excited. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what all the Star Wars have been, just like progressively larger Death Stars.
Yeah.
But I never went in to Star Wars being like, what's the next big thing they have to blow up or whatever. Like, I'm excited for the next one to see where the characters go, like what's gonna happen with so and so. What's Kylo Ren gonna be doing now is like exciting. But I didn't like finish like the other previous movies and be like, I can't wait for the MacGuffin-y thing. It's not about that for me. I just like, I want to see where the growth is in the characters. I value character over story. So I think you can do another one of the Star Wars movies and not be like, well, we killed Palpatine again. And it's like, and I'm making a joke because he's alive again. But, I think you can do another one and fucking satisfy. Like look at fucking perfect example. We're gonna switch to Marvel movies, or Fox movie, Logan. The big threat in Logan kind of wasn't one, you know.
It was his own sickness.
It was his own. Yeah, I mean, it was a personal story.
Mm-hmm.
That movie is that's probably the best of the X-Men films because it's so rooted in character and going somewhere with a journey. You know, but
not just snick, bub snicked.
Yeah, but it's not bad because it's like I'm not gonna watch that and be like, oh, I'm disappointed because, like, you know, in the other movies he fought time travel-y fucking planet killing shit. You know what I mean? And now he's just like in the desert and it's hot out. You know what I mean? Like I'm not in it for the big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make? Am I saying
so?
That? Does that make sense?
So while it would have been cool to watch him solo like a squad of Sentinels,
yeah,
watching him like sit in a bathroom and like can't pop his claws all the way.
Yeah, it was amazing.
And like
have to push him back in.
I'm watching that like choking because I'm feeling it's like my parents are that old. I'm getting old. Everything's old. Everything hurts.
Yeah,
it's like I get how people hurt now. I'm watching an old man hurt,
right,
and like not function the way he used to. This amazing killing machine, and now he's just like, dude, don't hurt my car, okay? And just like how the mighty have fallen kind of thing.
Right.
That was painful and like caused emotion more than Senator Kelly turning into a jelly man.
Yeah, or you know, or fighting, you know, Oscar Isaac as what was he?
Apocalypse.
Didn't watch that one.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's progressively larger things to punch. To me, isn't like that. I'm not in it for another. I want. You know, I already like the characters. You know.
Can I switch again?
Of course.
So Solo.
Yeah.
No one watched Solo to be like, oh, I hope he makes it out of this.
Right.
Because we know where he's going to end up.
Mm-hmm.
At no point should he be worried about Han Solo.
Right.
Because you know he's going to make it.
Mm-hmm.
And so that takes away a lot of possibilities as far as like threat factor and like
the imminent danger is less than because we know.
But now you get to try and like figure out, well, how'd they meet? How'd they get together?
Yeah.
How'd Lando get involved?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to watch it with a different purpose.
How do we get from A to B? Not how do we survive this? It's like what? Okay, we know what this person becomes. The journey of the film is now how do we get to that point? Which is, you know, the prequel trilogies was like we know, like if Anakin's like hanging off of a flying car, I don't think he's gonna die, you know. But it's how does all this stuff lead into this? Yeah, I mean we're kind of all over the place in terms of film wise, but I think I think we kind of see eye to eye in terms of like how a good story could like really be. So when Logan came out, I don't think a lot of people were like, wow, it's a different type of superhero movie. And it is, you know, it's violent, and it's dramatic and stuff. And it was really, really good. I feel that way. Did you guys like Logan?
Yes.
I did.
When The Last Jedi came out, a lot of people, and I'm not saying this is everyone who didn't like the movie, a lot of people didn't like it because to them it didn't feel Star Wars-y enough. It wasn't enough of what we had gotten before. And I think that was one of the real strengths of The Last Jedi, was that it was growing beyond the tropes of Star Wars. Like it was saying we're I know we're here in fucking episode 8 of these movies. Like we've done this 8 fucking times. But now we already have pieces. Let's use them differently than we would have before. Let's go on this journey with the people rather than like fitting them into fighting a big bad thing that exists and join the good guys again. You know, like let's do it again and shoot another big planet, which is, you know, unfortunately where Rise of Skywalker went. They were like, no, let's go back to the tropey thing. Let's just do this thing everyone expected, where we've got, you know, plans that we got to get here, and then what do you know? There's this fight, and we gotta. You please be a good guy again, you know. And they do, and it's the same fight from The Last Jedi, like again, kind of, and it's very. I don't know. I thought it was poor storytelling, and I think it was detrimental to the franchise because we were so close to growing, but instead the movie really regressed. It really felt like a movie by committee, and the committee was like dudes on Reddit. You know what I mean? Like it was like, oh, I want a Star Wars. Lando shows up again with his ship, and it's like, okay, I know there's a lot
and
of
no Rose.
Yeah. Oh man.
Justice like.
You guys saw that meme
So ugly.
where someone's like, "Hey, I brought this," and it's Rand Johnson with a Rose figure,
Right.
And
Yeah.
he just throws him over his shoulder.
Like and it's very much like a lot of The Rise of Skywalker. When I was watching it, I watched it opening night, and I got really lucky because I saw it at like 6 p.m, so it was like still early, and I still had a night after it was over to process all the crap that I had just witnessed. It was really it watching it, I was like, this is like, I could have wrote this, and that's not a compliment, because like I could have wrote this just fucking sitting back like, yeah, we did this, and like it's very,
You've got like a checkbox, like a list of checks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Like there was no, it doesn't feel like there's any second passes or
All right,
like,
so
why don't I
Kylo
try
has to not
stuff?
have the red lightsaber anymore. Check.
Mm-hmm.
And that, to get off what you're going on for a while, I had it in my head. I can't get rid of it now.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like there was a lot of stuff that just appeared without any lead up. They have so much history to work with.
Mm-hmm.
And there's stuff that I kind of want them to lean towards for nostalgia reasons, and then to be like, well, this is a thing now. And I go, where did that come from?
Mm.
So like, we've seen Luke's green lightsaber once,
Right.
in the new trilogy.
Yeah.
The one time. The blue one's been super important. Then they go, oh, by the way, here's Leia's lightsaber. What? Excuse me? She just has a lightsaber now? Where'd that come from?
Well,
Have we seen it before? Did I forget?
I get what you're saying.
I just wanted the green one instead.
Is that a
The
thing
green
that
was
you
cool.
needed to? And
I need the green one.
I might.
The green
yeah,
one and
I might need to consult like our pal Adam on this, who's our Star Wars like professional. Is it like canon in the books? Because I know so much was, because now it's Star Wars Legacy,
Legends.
but like the stuff Legends,
Yeah.
the stuff that's come out since Force Awakens, is that stuff all canon? And then also like, did we know? Has it always been known that like Luke trained Leia, or is that just a revelation in a quick flashback scene when we found her lightsaber?
She was found to be very force capable.
Right.
Yeah.
But I didn't know if it was like, oh yes, of course, this is when Luke trained Leia, or oh shit, Luke, because that's what it was to me. So like I've seen the movies, I've never really read any of the books or the comics or anything like that. So and I'm gonna get into this hopefully in a little bit. Maybe it was a little bit of fan service, just seeing like to the child like me, it's like, oh my god, Luke's training Leia. That's so cool, So, but I didn't know if that was something that we are expected to know going in.
I feel like that could have been Colin's Reddit dude fill-in. Be like, oh yeah, that's why she could marry Pommins last time, because she got trained by Luke.
It's very to me, like I do get your issue with that. But to me, like, suddenly Leia has a lightsaber. But it's not sudden. It's been 20 years. You know what I mean? So, like, sure, I can see that between now and then, like, at the end, like, in fucking Return of the Jedi, like, one of the last things we see is, like, him being like, you have the Force too. So as a kid, I just assumed, like, oh, man, like, later on, like, it's going to go on. She'll have... Maybe she can do Force stuff too. Like I just assumed like that's what was going to happen. So when in Last Jedi, and I'm not here to review Last Jedi because it's 2017 is when that movie came out. When she could use the Force, so many people were mad because they were like, and I'm paraphrasing, but so many people were like, oh, how come she can use the Force now? And it's like, fuck yeah, like she could use the Force before. Like now it's just
her entire family's
grown.
imbued with it. You think she wouldn't have it?
Dad is like the greatest fucking Jedi like ever, and like Luke is like
she's had at least 30 years to develop.
Yeah, so I don't mind things like that. But to me, like a better example is like bringing back Palpatine. Like why? You know what I mean? Like what? Like,
Yeah.
To me, like Last Jedi was. Listen, I'm back on Last Jedi again, and I don't mean to compare the two, but I can't help it because Rise of Skywalker should be a sequel to Last Jedi. Like Last Jedi was a sequel to Force Awakens, and like Last Jedi, like they fucking had a chance. They fucking put their sword in the ground. Is that flag in the ground? I don't know. Whatever it was, they planted their feet with like, no, Kylo Ren is the bad guy. He's the big bad guy.
Yeah.
He's the supreme
Like,
leader.
he doesn't need, like, he fucking shut down Snoke. He is choosing to fucking, I'm bad. I am choosing to do this.
Yeah.
And then in this one, it's like he has a dad again. He's got a boss guy now telling him what to do, like right away. You know what I mean? And he has his helmet again because he didn't need, like, I liked in Last Jedi, like I was when he destroys the mask and he's like, I'm just trying to be like other people. Why? Like, why am I doing this? And I think it was a commentary to like Last Jedi to me is so great because it's also in so many ways you could use it as a commentary on like franchise and fandom because who is Kylo Ren but the legacy character of that like trilogy of the new trilogy in which he's the one who's got the famous fucking parents and shit and he fucking 180 because he's fucking villainous and he tries to become his own person and chooses to be like we're gonna have it's Rey versus Kylo. And then in Rise of Skywalker, it's like, well, you need like a bigger bad guy. So the Emperor back out of fucking, and it's out of nowhere. You know, there's no teases to him being in the other ones unless somehow everyone missed it. You know what I mean?
People are gonna claim, oh no, I
knew the whole time.
I saw that coming. Back when Kylo said this,
It was obvious that Snoke was a clone, and there's 30 other Snokes sitting in
Totally
twos.
obvious.
Like, why was Snoke? Like, why was Palpatine's plan to have Snoke? Why would that be like? You know how I could get this kid to like really get in his ear? A weird little worm man, you know, like
with a scar on his head that resembles Darth Vader.
it's very.
Remember that when
Like,
when that first came
he's
out?
literally got like a tank of Snokes, and it's like, what are you gonna do with the other ones? Why are you doing this?
Just in case
You know?
he cuts him in half with a lightsaber.
I guess.
He's back. Look, it's new Snoke.
Oh,
But
it's
then,
Snoke
like,
again.
Why?
But the Emperor made cloning illegal. But there he is clonings.
Yeah.
I guess
mean,
we should have saw this coming with so many clones being so prevalent in the Star Wars canon.
There's some clones, I guess.
There's a lot of clones.
But I like how like the explanation. Not that we always need an explanation, but like the way they tried to explain it in this flick is like Dominic Monaghan's character.
Who
like,
is Dominic Monaghan?
He's one of the rebel guys, the guy who gets all of Rose's lines. Like the dude who was just also there.
He was there. Yeah.
Um,
Where's Penny's boat, dude?
yeah, exactly. Charlie. And he's like Poe Dameron. I felt so fucking bad for Oscar Isaac because I think they all knew that this was gonna be shit. Like Oscar Isaac is like his legit line, and I laughed. I laughed a couple times, and I don't mean that to be like, no, I laughed at the movie. Like I legit chuckled at things. Like it's like Oscar Isaac, and he looks so depressed, and he goes, "It seems somehow Palpatine has returned." It's like, has anyone ever even said fucking Palpatine like since he was the Emperor? Like it's just so goofy. And then they're all looking around like, what? And Charlie, like the guy we're talking about, he goes, Sith secrets, evil cloning, and then we just move on. You know what I mean? Like it's so goofy, and like this movie, like it's so. And I'm not better than this movie because I like Star Wars, and I'm not trying to seem that way. But so much of this movie, oh god, this is gonna sound mean.
Oh, I can't wait.
And it's gonna, and I don't mean to demean anyone who liked this movie because I can see, it was, you know, action was great, and more Star Wars is always, it's fun. But so much of this movie made me embarrassed to be watching it, and I kind of like during my screening, there was this older guy, in his 30s or 40s or whatever. I didn't ask him how old he was, but he looked older than me. Fucking clapping at stuff, which is great. Like, I clap at movies. Like, I react to things.
Mm-hmm.
But it was it was like, okay, why is he clapping? It's because this giant company is like hand feeding him, like, here's Lando's back, like, you know what I mean?
It's like baby birding him.
Yeah, it's just like fucking, you love this shit, and it's like, Palpatine, here's Han again. He's the Force, but not really, and like.
There was a second transport ship.
Yeah, like just tiny thing, like I saw, like, Chewie gets a medal, but that only really happens because of the movie people. Like, wouldn't it be like, it's always been a joke that Chewie never got a medal?
It's like,
he's never wanted a medal. He didn't give a shit.
It's so. I choked a little bit when that happened, because like it's always been a thing for as long as I've been alive, pretty much, that Chewie didn't get his medal, and like,
it's been a joke with fans.
They do. Oh, here's Chewie's medal, and I was like, wait, why?
Yeah, like,
it's been 40 years. Why does he get a medal now?
One?
I just found it on the ground somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I was emotionally affected in this film. Maybe once or twice, but the real time that I can really remember is when Chewie finds out that Leia died. And you just feel so bad for this fucking Wookiee, because fucking everyone he knows has fucking died, like, except Lando, who kind of walks in later, but which is cool. Like, and I was like, that's good. That's a good movie. And then I was like, wait a minute, I only give a shit because I saw the other Star Wars movies. Like, Chewie hasn't had shit to do in these movies. Like, why? Like, you don't get a you just took the connection I had to these other movies and put it in yours, but you didn't earn this moment. Leia just died. Like,
we saw the comic strip from after Force Awakens. It was like just someone made a little comic strip.
Is this the Ben Solo?
Yeah. Chewie's aiming
Mm-hmm.
at Kylo, and then like wants to shoot him but can't because he was there raising him half the time.
Yep.
And then he shoots him anyway.
Yep.
And it's
like the arm, but not a kill shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's we never get that.
Right.
Gut, wherever he hits him.
I saw. Have you guys been seeing recently? There's been a lot of concept art for the previous like versions of this movie, and like the original Colin Trevorrow was going to direct it.
No.
There's a couple of different, there's a lot of cool stuff that's being leaked out of like concept art of scenes that didn't happen or like different stuff. But there's this one that I really liked that's Chewie chained up, presumably when they caught him, and it's him like in a torture room with Kylo Ren, just the two of them.
Yeah.
And I was like, I would have loved to see that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's a lot of things that we didn't get to.
I wish I didn't know that existed.
Yeah, right? Like, even, like, we never get any of that. And even when Chewie, like, fake dies, like, we don't get Kylo Ren. He should react.
It's
like, he knows that's his fucking dog.
That's his godfather.
You know what I mean?
I was. Do I call him a dog right now?
Like, you know what I mean?
Well,
like,
by this point, Chewie's at least 200 years old.
yeah.
So Han was the dog.
Nice.
But like, and I feel like Oscar Isaac didn't have a lot to do. Like, even his shit, and like, oh man, when he's like, "You're a Palpatine," I was like, that's the worst. That's like the shittiest idea. That's like the dumbest thing. That's like why? Like, we already.
Why?
Why was why?
So I saw a post with a whole article that was like, here's when he could have had a kid that would then have a grandkid.
That's so goofy.
And I
Someone
clicked.
fucked Sheev. His name is Sheev. Did you know that?
Wait, what are we talking about?
Palpatine.
No, it's not.
Sheev
His
Palpatine.
name is Emperor.
Mm-hmm.
No, his son.
What?
Right? You're talking about son?
No, Palpatine's
Palpatine.
first name is Sheev.
Chancellor, what's his name?
Chancellor Palpatine? Like Senator Palpatine?
Senator.
Yeah. He becomes a senator, he becomes a chancellor, and he's like all this shit.
We're going
Right.
back to prequels now.
Sheev.
Sheev, Sheev.
Told you.
So someone like was gonna try and make a timeline of like when he could have had a kid, and when that person would have had. I was like, the ages seem really weird in this.
Yeah. And like someone would have had to, he would have had to fuck someone.
With the Force.
Or did he do like the, okay, here's the thing. Are Rey and Kylo Ren related?
I don't think so.
Okay. Who's Anakin's dad?
Oh yeah, we don't know. He was just born like Jesus.
But in episode 3, doesn't Palpatine
The fuck?
wax poetic about this? Like,
Man,
his
you're
teacher.
talking to someone who's seen episode 3 once,
oh,
back on when it came out in the theaters.
yeah. There was just a big thing that was like, is maybe Palpatine is Vader's dad, because he talks about how like, oh, I had a teacher who taught me how to like create life like, out of nothing. And so,
Oh,
did he create?
Midichlorians became like
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure it's referenced in a canon comic book that like Vader considers Palpatine his dad or some shit. I could be wrong. I think I'm right.
We'll say you're right, just for
Yeah.
argument's sake.
How did we feel about the mind fights?
They were cool.
Kylo?
I liked them.
We
But I
did.
also thought it was strange because in Last Jedi, doesn't Snoke say you could only do that because I let you do that? I like facilitated that.
Well, Snoke was full of shit a lot of the time anyway.
Well, Snoke was Palpatine, right?
Well, I don't think Palpatine was talking through Snoke. I thought he, in my head,
He made
like,
Snoke
he
and then
developed
gave him
Snoke to be
directions,
its own-
and then it was like, go do the thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
I don't think he was
um,
talking through him though.
Being someone
Didn't
who,
he? But Palpatine said, "I've been every voice," and then he does Snoke's voice.
Did he?
Yeah, he does Snoke. He does fucking Vader.
I didn't
Whoever
catch-
else was his voices.
I didn't catch all that.
Same, me neither.
I've been every voice inside your head, and he does all the like at the very beginning during the montage of him like walking through the creepy lab. This is weird. Look at all this dark stuff. I can't see anything in here.
Well, Kylo's super powerful, so
Supreme Leader.
I mean, Kylo Ren was definitely like one of the most exciting aspects of the flicks, but then with this one, and I like that I like Ben Solo.
Mm-hmm.
I thought his turn at the end and his thing. To me, I wasn't satisfied with it, but I'm a big old complaining baby.
If we're talking about and just for like listeners, this isn't it's not like what did we do? Stranger Things 2? Or yeah, Stranger Things 2 when it was
yeah.
No, I swear we enjoyed
I
this.
liked
and then we
this,
just
but
shit on
I
it for an
just
hour and a
thought
half.
It was bad. Yeah.
I very much enjoyed Rise of Skywalker. I had a great time seeing my wife. She really enjoyed it as well. We both enjoyed Last Jedi, but also like you leave the theater with questions. Like, wait, what? You know, like our friend Adam described it as, you know, did I just see a Star Wars movie? Like because it felt different, which in the end was good. But like, at first it was confusing.
Yeah.
But Rise of Skywalker, I enjoyed because I am a sucker for fan service. I have bad radar when it comes to realizing when people are just giving me what I want.
Just pandering.
You know, yeah.
Because you're like, I do like this. And you don't
This is
realize
great.
that it's like, oh.
Fuck yeah, Han's here. Like, this is awesome. I don't think about, like, you know, the repercussions or how Han is there. I'm just like, oh, kick ass. I am enjoying this.
Yeah.
And so when we're talking about the mind conversations, you know, I will say to put it bluntly, we've been cursing up a lot here. To put it bluntly, I nutted when with the lightsaber. When like
when he's got it behind
my
his back.
God. And then he does the Han shrug.
Yeah, that was good. That was great. Oh man,
there was definitely some points where I just go, okay.
I was really really excited. Force Awakens, like that flashback when we get of Kylo Ren like destroying the temple, and he's got like his boys with him, like the Knights of Ren.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't fucking wait for these dudes. And they were so cheesy and like dorky.
They just stood still.
Like they were just like a boy band. Like they were just like a bunch of
They're backup
like
dancers.
edgelord kids who was like, I'm here. And then they all get wiped out. And like something that I find really, really interesting is Rian Johnson was asked, how come the Knights of Ren didn't show up in Last Jedi? Like, why not at that big fight when like Kylo Ren turns on Snoke and shit? Like, why were you fighting just like red dudes? And he said, well, the Knights of Ren presumably have some kind of emotional connection with Kylo Ren in some way. So it didn't really make sense for me to just wipe them all out in a big fight. And then in this one, they don't do anything, and they just get wiped out, no problem. It's just so funny, because, like, J.J. Abrams, like, invented those guys and then didn't do anything. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we got nothing. There was a lot of, wasted, kind of goofy
Rose.
stuff. Yeah, Rose just got fucking.
I couldn't believe for someone who was so. I bopped the table and every mic just jolted.
You killed the table.
I just destroyed it. For someone who was such a big part of Finn's story and the story in general in Last Jedi, to have like 6 lines.
76 seconds, I think, of screen time, counting when she's not totally in frame. Nah, someone timed it. And they said I even counted when she's only half there.
Right.
Yeah, or when she's out in the background.
It's okay, you guys. There's action figures for all the Knights of Ren. You can get all 6 pops, the Funko
Black
Pop
Series,
for less than $60.
Wow.
But there's not quite all the action figures. There's like 2 in the action figure collection.
they'll be out eventually.
Yeah, we'll get the rest of them.
Yeah, people got to get their stuff.
There's the staff guy and the axe guy.
But that Rose shit is pretty.
It just felt gross. Because
especially
they took her out.
Why even have her show up?
Because people
hey, you can come film now. All right, thanks. That was it.
Right.
Yeah, they cut her scenes out with like Ray and shit. Like before the movie came out, she was like, I can't wait for people to see like Rose and Ray talking to each other and stuff.
If they gave her something better to do in Last Jedi, because honestly, I hated that horse racing thing.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Canto Bite.
Yeah, like the idea of there being a rich gambling planet, and being like they're funding weapons for both sides of the conflict.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, all right, cool. Dig into that. Give me some of that. But like, we're gonna race around the city on these horse things. I'm like, I'm time to go to the bathroom. I guess I'll check my phone.
Is that a really long scene?
However long it was too long. And then like when they go to land on the Super Star Destroyer, and like, oh, they get out in horses. I was like, oh, it better not be those guys yet. Oh, it's just new regular horses. It's just new different hairy things that are horses that Poe. It's like, hey, thanks for the lesson and teaching me how to drive one of these.
Yeah.
And it's like, really?
And they were like, Rose, are you coming on our adventure? Like, the movie's going to start now. And she's like, no, I got to look at some papers. Like, her line was like, I got schematics.
General needs me over, not with you guys.
I got to look at these. I got to look at what a Star Destroyer used to look like. She's like, I got to look at Star Destroyer schematics. I think was her line.
Getting on
the ones that shaped like a spearhead. Those ones.
now
You
they're
gotta
all
look at pictures of them.
now they're all Death Stars.
Yeah.
Every one of them.
Jesus. And like I thought there was so much silly stuff that like they fucking J.J. Abrams like comes off as like a nice dude, but like seems really pissed about Last Jedi and like actively was like, no, none of it, and was like, it seemed so petty. So much of what was going on that it was like, okay, no Rose. Okay, put the fucking mask back on. And we are like him, like Kylo Ren and like all of his friends are like standing there watching it get made. Like, the guy's got nothing to do? Okay. And like.
So, like all the work of saying like, we did it. We destroyed the Super Star Destroyer. And.
Star Killer.
What's her name? Sacrifice yourself to hyperdrive into it.
Holdo.
And then they go, so we'll just call for help. Whenever all the other rebels will come help us. And then like we start the movie, we get halfway through the movie. It's like there's been no help.
No one fucking gave a shit. Did anyone hear about the Luke Skywalker thing? Yeah, but people just didn't give a shit. You know what they needed to hear? Lando Calrissian ask please. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same fucking thing. It's the same plan. We'll just go and someone will come.
We'll try.
And then sure enough, like Lando did it. It's like Luke fucking did all that cool shit. Like, what? I don't know. It just seems silly.
So I'm glad he mentioned the same thing, because we watched Chancellor Palpatine force lightning bouncing off of a lightsaber to himself, and not just like stop force lightning blasting.
Yeah.
He just blasts himself
he's
into
just gonna
his
do it more. Yeah, he's gonna flex his fingers harder.
And then,
you know what I mean?
And like Mace Windu just messed him up that way
Yeah.
until he was saved
It's
by.
like, did you not fucking learn shit, dude?
So he's just gonna go do it again.
Like, fuck,
I'm
for
gonna
fuck's
force
sake,
light.
Stop shooting.
Oh, she's got
Turn
a
it off.
lightsaber.
Like, so maybe he doesn't feel it. He doesn't know he's getting hit.
He's getting
He's
incinerated
just an
by his
old
own
man.
force
Like,
lightning.
this is probably working.
Like if
Yeah.
something hurts, I'm probably gonna stop doing it. It's just
And like, it's
force
just
lightning
you
harder.
can't ever stop doing it once he starts doing it. Like, isn't he like when Darth Vader picks him up in Return of the Jedi? He's still like
He's
just
still
like,
zapping him.
spewing out.
He's like somehow it's arcing around to hit
Once he's-
Vader.
it's
So-
like-
It's like fucking nutting out of his
It's like
hands.
it's like taking a
He
piss.
can't stop doing it.
you can't cut the stream off.
He can't, or it stings.
It's
So
just so goofy. How did he not die?
I will say that when Ray lightninged, I popped. Like I did not
That's
see
pretty
that
wild.
coming at all. I was like, "Oh, what's gonna happen? Is she gonna like crush the ship accidentally because she's so fucking strong?"
I was expecting a crush.
Yeah,
Yeah, or like to tear in half
Yeah.
between the two of them.
but when she lightninged, that was
That was nuts. Lightning is strong.
Considering the only other person who has ever done it,
Yeah.
in the entire, as
Well,
far as I know,
depending on video games, and
right?
books and
Exactly.
Plo
comics.
Koon can do it.
Who's that?
Doesn't matter.
So
Well,
can
The one guy
Sheev.
listening is like, yeah.
Ah, plug it.
He's a Jedi. The
Yeah, he's
Jedi
a
aren't
Jedi.
supposed to
Yeah,
have those
yeah.
powers.
He can,
Those
he
are
can
dark
do it.
side
I'm telling you. He
powers.
can
Is it
also like
implied-
turn
is-
into smoke.
Is it implied that Yoda could do it? He most likely could. He just can, just choose not
He
to.
like
Okay,
remember
so-
he like caught it.
Oh yeah.
And he was like,
you know,
come
and
on,
go
man.
right back.
So, dark side. That's a dark side power. That's not a light side power. So when you
Then why could Ray do it?
when you're
Because she has the blood of a fucking
because she's
Sith daddy.
didn't she dive into the dark side well?
Is that what that was?
Jumped right in. Whatever
That was
it
a weird part of the movie.
So, if you guys watch the movies, Mikey?
Yep.
Or Film Joy? When he did Force Awakens, and he's comparing the two of them, like one of them, when Kylo's fighting Rey, one of them is gritting their teeth, they're angry, there's a lot of emotion. One is just stoic as hell. One isn't showing any emotion. And like, out of what we know of the Jedi versus Sith, who's supposed to have emotion and who's not?
Mm.
Who lets the hate and fear flow through you?
Mhm.
And who's supposed to be a serene pond? Rey's like, just everything's on her face. Everything she's feeling is on her
Yeah.
face. So like, yeah, she's gonna hit the dark side eventually.
In some way.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, like, I think the whole, I think I liked what, like, Yoda's lessons with, like, when Yoda shows up in The Last Jedi and, like, what the arc of the Jedi could have been in the sequel trilogy was, like, we did it wrong. Yeah, I mean, like, why is having feelings making us bad guys? You know what I mean? Which I thought by the end of this one, it didn't touch any of that. It was just like the Jedis are good, and they all helped me with the spirit bomb at the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I did think that was cool because they also had the voices of like the animated characters were there, like Kanan from Rebels and Ahsoka. Like that was dope. Apparently, they shot that with them on set, and then decided not to.
How do
do
you
it.
not use that?
Like what?
Huh.
Like, why would you not show like? And then we could have seen like a live action Ahsoka. It would have been so people would have
That would
freaked
have
out.
been rad.
Like that's the kind of fan servicey shit that I would have fucking nutted for. But yeah, like so much of the movie is very much, you know, the stakes are there but not really. And Chewie's dead, no he's not, and C-3PO's dead, no he's not. Like it's, and the fucking map is like a knife, and then the knife pops up like this, and you got to hold it at this spot. But like if you know this Death Star sunk any deeper, like this would be useless. Why did we make this?
Or if you're standing on a different beach.
yeah, like why is this the thing?
Oh, we
This
got a
is
new
silly.
droid. Did anybody talk to the droid yet? No.
Dio kicked ass.
Well, it's like, yeah, it knows exactly where to go. But like, did anyone ask it?
I
one
love
was-
Dio.
As soon as it turns on, I'm like, oh, it's been with him the whole time.
Voiced
That's
by
what you're
J.J.
saying.
Abrams.
It's
That true?
I believe so.
It's been there.
Good for JJ. He needed a win. The I mean, Dio existed to sell just more toys, and that's
I will buy
fine,
the
you
Lego
know,
set.
It's cool.
That's
Like-
what's going to happen.
And I mean, and I get it. That's what you get with a franchise like this. Is that's gonna happen? Like, what's a so much of the storytelling decisions were predicated on like, please like us again. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we just want the hardcore fans to like to come back. But it's like you had a choice to make art, and you did not do that. You know what I mean? You just fucking.
Were they trying to take the safe route because Ryan tried to make art?
I think so.
Yeah.
And even this, but like now in choosing the safe route, you've thus made so much moot. So much of the sequel trilogy is now practically like Last Jedi. Now is going to be it's silly.
I mean, looking at the numbers alone, Force Awakens, I'm on thenumbers.com. Force Awakens globally did $2,068,223,624. So just over $2 billion. Episode 8, Last Jedi, did $1.3 billion. So I imagine, and those numbers are insane.
Mm-hmm.
But when you go from 2 billion to almost like, you know, cutting that not in half, but like I can't do the math correctly, but like you're losing out on $750 million. I imagine they want like, okay, we need to mix it up. We need to make the money again. Because apparently according to this website, Rise of Skywalker is at just over $1 billion worldwide.
Disney's acquisition was paid off in that first movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's you know, it just didn't, there's no art in it, and there could have been. Yeah, I mean,
one thing that, if I'm going to completely derail this with a meme, I couldn't help but think it, and it was such a serious moment, was when Leia died. The only thing that came through my head was, guess I'll die. Because, like, Leia's standing there at one point, and then she's like, well, now I'm going to walk over there. Now I'm going to die.
She's going to use up all her force power like Luke did.
I guess. You know?
To do.
Talk to Ben.
And
that was it.
Right.
And I get they were limited in what they could do with that.
Yeah.
I already was blown away by how much.
You know what they should have done?
Carrie Fisher was in that movie.
You know what they should have said? Was she gives her fucking life force away to bring Han back for a second from the Force. Because that would kill someone. And then it would make sense why Han is there. Instead of, like, they describe it as, like, oh, this is a memory. Or I'm just imagining talking to you.
They're connecting via the Force. I don't know. Can't explain it.
Yeah.
All I know is that a sucker like me, you know, like that'll get a gasp out of me. Mostly just because even in Force Awakens, when Han first shows up,
Yeah, that was cool.
my wife and I watched Force Awakens a couple weeks ago, which I enjoy that movie.
It's good.
I do like Force Awakens.
Fun.
And also we watched one movie that I never gave a fair shake to, and I always said the same thing over and over again whenever it got brought up. But man, Rogue One kicks ass.
I like Rogue One.
It was Disney Plus, man. Just popped it right on. We were putting together a Lego set. Rogue One was great. Damn.
A lot of fun stuff. You can do a lot of fun, interesting stuff with Star Wars, but with this one, and it was the big finale, and they just fucking waffled it. You know, they did such a disservice. Rey's journey is now, you know, from someone who was so desperate to like be important, and then found out like no, man, like just because you read all these stories doesn't mean you're fucking related to some shit. Like your parents were pieces of shit. Like deal with it. Like who cares? You know what I mean? And she's like, fuck, all I wanted was like, I wanted to be a Solo, and then they went, he died, and then the fucking Luke, was looking to accept me, and then he ended up being a disappointment, like as a hermit, like asshole, and now like, I'm nothing. And then in that fucking scene, Kylo Ren is like, you're fucking dog shit, like you don't fucking matter to everyone else. No one cares about you. Your family didn't give a shit. They sold you for like $10 to buy some shitty blue fucking tequila. You're nothing. And that's like literally what he says is you are nothing. But he also says like, but not to me. I like you. I accept Rey. And so that moment where he's like, I'll give you some, you want to belong? Let's do it. You and me together. And she's like, okay, this person is reaching out, wants me to join them as like a family, as whatever the fuck. But it's wrong to do it, even though that's all I want, and that's great.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the next movie, it's
Storytelling.
like, oh, fuck, you know what's crazy? You actually are related to someone fucking super, and no one fucking knew. Like, that's crazy, except we all secretly knew. We didn't want to tell you. You know what I mean?
Leia knew the whole time. I guess.
Leia knew.
Luke
That's
knew.
crazy. You know that guy, like, who's the most powerful person ever? Turns out that's why you're the most powerful person ever. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, okay.
Imagine her finally.
Right.
So Luke knew the whole time. So Ray shows up to his hermit island, and he goes, "Oh, all right, you're Palpatine's kid."
Right, yeah. You're Sheev's,
Oh, is that you?
you're
is that-
Sheev's granddaughter.
Is that Palpatine's kid?
Oh, shit. You
Ray,
look,
get over here.
you look, you have his eyes. They're less wrinkly and shit, but, you know, whatever. And it's you know what it is? It's fucking forced nepotism.
All right, time,
Yeah.
time to train you, Palpatine's kid. Oh my God, she dove right into
Oops.
the dark power hole. I can't believe
Who
it.
saw that coming?
It's so weird. She was just like stretching, and suddenly she fucking shot lightning out of her fingertips. I've never seen that before.
One thing I wanted to touch on, and this is turning into Stranger Things 2. We've shit on the movie for an hour
Yo,
now.
fuck Rise of Skywalker. Sorry.
I like Rise of Skywalker. I didn't even say it right. Rise of Skywalker. Did anyone else get the, and I might be very much in the minority here because I'm one of the few people who have seen this. Did anyone see any connections to Palpatine and how he appeared in the movie to something else that maybe was a cartoon from when we were kids? Maybe not a great cartoon. Anyone else get that?
Oh yeah, biker mice from Mars.
Yes, biker mice
Yeah.
from Mars. It was the exact same
He
thing.
was a biker mouse.
Yes. No, I'm talking about Beast Machines.
Right, you were telling me this.
You ever see Beast Machines?
No,
Because you don't like Beast Wars as it
No.
is, right?
No, yeah.
You weren't a Beast Wars fan?
No.
You didn't like Beast Wars?
Yeah, I don't get it, man. It just doesn't make any sense.
I'm not even gonna.
So, we're already at almost an
We
hour.
don't
We
have
can't get
time.
into we can't get into Beast Wars. So
Fucking
Beast
Dino. You know what? It's,
so Beast Wars happens.
Jesus.
Uh-huh.
And then after Beast Wars, they spoilers for Beast Wars. They escape the planet. Everything's great.
Uh-huh.
Oh shit! They crash or whatever. I can't remember how they wind up, but they wind up back on Cybertron. Beast Machines happens. Beast Wars turns into Beast Machines, and then Megatron is still the bad guy, but he's like hanging there in a harness, hooked up to like his head because he's embarrassed and ashamed of his dragon form from Beast Wars, and he looked exactly like Palpatine in the movie. Like he just
like
moves.
moving on a track. thing.
Exactly, like a thing that's just hooked up to like the back of him somehow.
He's like plugged in.
Yeah, like we'll have to Google Megatron and Beast Machines, and then Palpatine in Rise of Skywalker, and I was freaking out. I was like, "What is he about to He's gonna fall out of it, and his dragon form's gonna show up, and he's gonna get embarrassed and ashamed because no, you're not supposed to transform. It's bad."
Yeah.
They stuck Rhinox's spark in his stupid Sentinel Sentry thing, and they
What?
teased him being good. I never finished Beast Machines.
That's probably a good reason for that.
It wasn't great.
Rhinox
Yeah.
was cool. Yeah, the
Well,
oozy things.
He had they spun, and he was a rhino.
Beast Wars wasn't good either.
Beast Wars was so good, dude.
fuck up.
When they find the Ark with Optimus's body in it to someone who was raised on the Transformers movie, when Optimus dies, I hated that scene. It was terrifying because he just turns black and it's your hero, and you only get him for like 20 minutes in the movie. So then when they find the Ark and they find Optimus's body and they actually revive him for like 5 minutes.
Yo, that passion, unbridled. That was rad. That was more passionate than any
I
of us
really
have been
like
about
Beast
Star
Wars.
Wars.
There was a crane thing in one of the Hellraiser movies that held a Cenobite by its head too. That's all. I
So
have
it
to-
ripped from
that's-
Beast Wars.
That's all I have to add to that.
Yeah.
and then like somehow like I ripped the dude's head off, so the Cenobite died.
I feel like
Probably had it coming.
Like if Palpatine is plugged in, like it would have been really funny. Like during the fight, they just kind of backed up, and he's like,
Yeah, I can't reach.
my
lighting
my
doesn't-
cord only goes so far.
He
It's like the
wasn't
length of an
nearly-
iPhone charger.
He looked a lot.
It's a Thunderbolt cable.
He didn't look as wrinkly or old when you first saw him.
Because Sith secrets, evil cloning.
But he's still like missing fingertips.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like, did you die? The Death Star blew up.
Well, Luke made the fall. He was fine, but that was in Bespin. So
That was a Bespin fall.
yeah,
A Bespin fall.
Yeah. You haven't. He did the Bespin fall in under 12 parsecs.
Everyone who's like, how did Emperor survive? Well, he could have.
See, like, oh, I interrupted.
Yeah,
Bad for radio.
Showing a phone.
Bad for. I'm showing Megatron and Beast Machines.
That's Sheev. That's my boy Sheev.
I don't really understand what's going on in that picture.
He's just hanging there.
Who is that?
That's Megatron.
Give me that again.
We're looking at. I Google searched Megatron in Beast Machines.
I just see shapes there.
Yep. That's
Okay.
Beast Machines.
Shapes are things.
Well,
Shapes are things. Kicks a move.
see how come? Look, Emperor were just
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not showing him a picture. I swear to God.
Alex just kind of shut down. You mean at a bad week?
What are we mad at General Leia for?
Dying?
What they call it when she flew through the sky, the space?
What?
There's a name for that. I said
Oh,
it.
You
5
called
minutes
it.
ago.
You called it Mary Poppins.
Yeah, that's what it was called, right? Her
To
Mary
who?
Poppins when she flew through.
I get.
The internet was saying it.
Yeah,
Oh,
I-
okay.
The internet said it a lot.
I thought that was like an official name.
I
No,
was.
no.
I was one of the people who was like, "What the fuck?"
No, the internet was like, I can't believe she Mary Poppins through space back in
Right.
his...
I just
So,
didn't
like-
like how it looked.
If she could do that, then like the
Okay,
Emperor,
fair enough.
could do that out of the Death Star.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. No. No.
Oh, okay.
Did you see it?
That's not how Star Wars works, Alex.
The thing is fucking atomized.
It explodes in all directions. Just push him away.
Yeah, you're probably right. That's fine.
He made it somehow, dude.
He's like, and like suddenly, like the only thing that's wrong with him is like his fingertips are a little burned.
Yeah.
He's like, "Nowie, I had my lightning on for too long. That's why they look so stupid."
Better do it again.
Guys, if we ever get lighting powers, we should install an off switch.
It's like Snagglepuss. Oh man, that was funny.
You know, it's like Thor in Siege. It's like he's gonna
I've
hit.
read Siege. I haven't read Siege.
lost me.
He's gonna hit the sentry with lightning, and it's gonna do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna hit the sentry with lightning 6 more times, and it'll do nothing.
But they need a
But
super lightning.
The 7th time, it gets him.
Oh, nice.
Thanks, Bendis.
7 times.
Props to Ken. Where's Ken?
Ken out there, like,
Let's get
fuck
Ken in
yeah.
here.
Got him. At the end, Rey dropping off the lightsaber of Luke and Leia at Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru's moisture farm.
Yeah, no one kept that up.
Why do you think she did that? Did she watch A New Hope?
Fuck.
She saw that movie and was like,
That was such a loaded question. It's like, don't answer this. Let me get my punchline out.
Get my jokes. You know what I mean? Like fucking why there? Why Leia's? Leia's like, don't put my fucking sword there.
She was
I
never
was
there.
a princess.
She was never even there.
Yeah, I don't fucking want to go. Don't drop me off in the sand.
She just like goes to where
Well, maybe that's
Now they're stuck haunting like the.
What was her
fucking
planet?
dunes. Oh, Alderaan.
was it? Yeah, she just like goes to where Alderaan was and like hucks it out the
Throws
window.
It out the window.
well,
R.I.P.
Rip.
Jared made a great throwing motion with it right there. That's also where Anakin's from, though. So she was.
Okay, but like, did Leia like had no real connection to Anakin? You know, that's why she fucking is like, no,
Just
I'm Organa. Trust me. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
she never really reconciled the Vader. You know,
I mean, it was for suckers again like me who, it takes just a beating to have me understand symbolism. That was like, to me, that was, oh, okay, that's nice. Yeah, they're together on the sand planet. And I never even thought, like, Leia was never there.
yeah.
Like, maybe she traveled there later on. Who knows?
I also, sorry, I'm interrupting
To
you.
check out the carcasses.
Yeah,
Every time I see that farm, I just think of Family Guy with Blue Harvest.
Power
I'll be
converters.
right back. Over my burned carcass. And then she's a burned carcass.
yeah, she does.
Justice for Aunt Peru?
Beru, yeah.
Beru?
Beirut.
Beirut?
You know what's like was funny to me was at the end after she does her little eulogy like in silence with I think BB-8 is there with her And she ignites her lightsaber just so we know what color it is.
Mm-hmm.
If you had a lightsaber, wouldn't you just ignite it all the time?
I kind of would.
Yeah, but we don't like live in a world like that. Have you ever seen anyone do that? Just be like, "Bzz, yeah,
It works.
cool. I made this.
So, I'm sorry. There's a deleted scene in, what was it?
Return of the Jedi.
Thank you. You know where I'm going. You know where I'm heading with this. Where we get to see Luke constructing his green lightsaber.
Hmm.
You're all about that green lightsaber. It's
So-
nice. It's
now-
dope.
So, what I want to complain about lightsabers for a sec.
Actually, we see it in this one.
We see what?
Do we?
Luke's green lightsaber. He's training when he's fighting Leia.
Yeah.
He's using his green one.
Is he?
Yep.
Yep.
I don't even remember that.
Hmm?
I thought they were both blue.
Mm-mm.
I could have sworn they were both blue. Anyway.
Google it.
Because I was watching it like, oh man, does Leia have a green lightsaber? And then she like takes off her mask. I was like, oh, she's got a blue one.
So, Anakin makes his lightsaber. He loses it because his hand
Obi-Wan's
gets cut.
gonna kill me.
So, he doesn't have his original lightsaber. That's one that Obi takes. Luke gets it. Luke never constructed his own lightsaber. Anakin makes his new Sith lightsaber. It looks just like his first one, but a couple components are black instead of silver. Otherwise, it's the same exact thing.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
So now, Obi has his old lightsaber.
He can't really ask anyone how to make a new one.
Luke, so it's time for Luke to make his own lightsaber. So he makes his green one. You know what it looks just like? Obi's. It looks exactly like Obi's lightsaber, like two components are a little bit different. And then Leia's, I don't know.
It sounds like a complaint for the
it's-
props department.
It's kind of like Obi's and kind of like Luke's green one. but-
From coming, this is. I have
one-
designed my own lightsaber on the website online. It is very difficult.
There's only so many things you could do. Like, imagine like you and your buddies are all making lightsabers, and you're like, I'm gonna put a hook on mine. Like, I was gonna do a hook. Oh, okay. Guess we're both gonna have a hook on ours.
Did we see the image of
What color is yours gonna be? Silver? Oh, okay.
mine was also going to be metal colored.
I was gonna have a silver color.
It's like playing. It's when the Pokemon games come out.
Yeah.
Who are you maining? Oh.
Oh. Well, one of us is gonna have.
Did we see
Duplicates.
the image where Rey's new lightsaber just looks like a part of her staff?
Maybe.
If you look at her bow staff, like the
That
one
makes sense
end of
that
it,
She would, yeah.
it looks exactly like it's the same shape. Like she could just take it off and
Yeah.
put it.
She should have just done a dual bladed. She has experience with stabs.
Yeah, she never fucking followed it. What a weird choice not to do. It's right there. Just make that. Have that be the sword she uses. Instead, in this one, they're like, that one we broke. She super glued it back together, and she uses that one again.
She's gonna carry it around over one shoulder, so she has to hold it the entire time. It's really just
Fuck.
one shoulder slings are just not optimal.
One scene that I really liked was it's two scenes together that I really liked. And again, one of them is 100% fan service. I'm a sucker. Fuck me. When Luke finally pulls the X-wing out of the water
Mhm.
because he couldn't do it in Return of the Jedi or whatever one it was. No, it was Empire. He couldn't pull it out of the swamp.
Right.
But then he pulls it out for fucking Rey. But then we get to see Rey flying an X-wing, wearing the helmet,
Mm-hmm.
and like an obvious throwback to Force Awakens when she's wearing the helmet inside the outside the AT-AT or whatever,
Yeah.
looking up like she wants to be a fighter pilot or whatever.
AT&T.
Jesus Christ!
It's not. No.
All right,
no
time
one
to start
calls
hour 2 discussing Star Wars terminology. I proposed to my wife using an AT-AT.
it. It's an AT-AT.
Anyways, but we got to
Hey,
see her.
the two walker ones. What do you call that?
The Hua?
The ones with two legs. What do you call that?
I don't know. Oh, the ATSTs.
Yatstis.
How come? You can say it
Because
properly.
I wanted to make you mad.
You're not gonna call it an ats?
But
You serious?
son of a bitch, I'm trying to make a good point about a thing I liked in the movie. She's wearing the helmet. It's cool. She's flying the X-Wing. She's flying the Zwing.
Fuck you. Oh.
I prefer the U wings better.
Is the X silent?
Wings.
The owings.
Earwings.
Owings are the worst.
Get a couple of wings coming.
Whew,
Jesus.
boy. Boy, oh boy.
Yeah.
So, that was a scene that I enjoyed in the movie. Overall, A+.
How much do we keep track of their ships, all the different ships?
I like ships. Yeah.
I just look for whatever Lego sets are going to come out.
So, who else? Poe had his own, right?
He had a
Poe
new
had his
X-Wing.
He had like a
X-Wing.
black X-wing kind of.
Well, and he also has a new one in this movie.
Is it also black?
It's not black, but it has a unique paint color. There's already a Lego set.
So, one, you do wings closed for like flight mode, and then wings open for combat mode. When we see Luke's old X-Wing and Poe's new X-Wing together, like they have different settings.
Spread.
Yeah. It's like one was closed, one was open, even though they were doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And I was just curious about why.
When I played Rogue One back in the day on the N64,
Yeah.
I believe it was you could
Rogue
fly
Squadron?
Fuck, man. I was trying to sound smart. Rogue Squadron on the N64. You could fly the X-Wing faster and more nimbly if you had the foils closed.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
But you couldn't shoot. You could only shoot if the foils were open.
Mm-hmm.
They're not called wings?
I believe it was foils.
Oh.
I'm okay with that.
The X-foils.
It's the Zoils.
On the subject of ships, like I was at Barnes Noble recently, and they have some cool Star Wars stuff out there, and I grabbed one of the manual things, and it was like ships of the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck yeah, like awesome. And then I opened it up, and it's like 15 different types of X-Wings.
Uh-huh.
They all look fucking identical, pretty much.
I love those
And
books,
I was like-
though. Like the deconstructed books, and it's
Yeah.
like, here's the carbon neutralizer, which powers the... You never know what that was. So.
Imagine-
You stick the droid in here, and you hit the
Imagine
switch.
being an artist and being told, like, hey, draw 20 different X-Wings.
Yeah.
How?
But it was like shots from the movie. Like it wasn't all fun, cool, like deconstructed stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Like it was like, okay, here's this one. It's like, oh, I see this one has a little more red on it. What do you know? I was disappointed. But like, you know, that's all the cool ships in like the expanded universe stuff. Like fucking, did you ever see Dengar's ship?
No.
It's like it's rad. Like I think it's what's the fucking God? What's it called? You'll have to bring it up on your computer at some point.
What's
and
his
like,
name?
Dengar. He's got a
Dengar
sick
ship.
ship. Bosk has a cool ship. There was going to be a deleted scene with Bosk in it, where he's one of the people who gets called to join the fight at the end.
Is that it? Is that the one?
The curve?
I think so. Yeah, put the curve on it.
With the curve on it?
Yeah, what's it called?
Punishing One.
Punishing One. That's rad. Oh man.
It looks like there's a big chunk of it missing.
Like
It's
the
like
Millennium
it's like a
Falcon?
moon.
That's no
was
moon.
A box opened up at work one time, and it had like all the vehicles and ships in it. So it had Ray's speeder, but then it had like this ship with like 4 massive engines on it, and it had like the slice deconstructed and like all the parts of it and everything. And I'm looking in this book and I see that picture, and I go, "Oh man, this ship's gonna be wicked important. This is gonna be such an important ship." So I'm watching Force Awakens, and like,
Oh.
and Ray is there trying to escape with
Finn.
Finn. And like, oh, we'll take that one. Like, yeah, that looks great.
garbage.
And it immediately explodes and gets blown up.
Mm.
I'm like, that was the
It was so expensive. I got so excited.
Do you think that ship belonged to Ben Quadranos?
Gasgano's ship.
Quadrananos or whatever his name is. So Star Wars was a movie. It made a ass load of money compared to other Star Wars. Maybe not so. I mean, it still broke $1 billion worldwide compared to.
It's a good deal of quiche right there.
I mean, when you look at, damn man, Solo did not make a lot of money worldwide comparatively.
Yeah.
that's because the human throat can't make Wookiee sounds. So it's just impossible.
That one that did kind of it was surprising to say the least. I'm excited to see where they go with it. We're making fun of me.
You excited?
I'm not excited. I Solo was fine. What didn't tickle me very much, but it was fine. I liked parts of it.
You know what I like about Solo? It's the only Star Wars movie where there is no mention of Jedi at all. No references or anything. No one says Jedi.
They got other stuff to do.
They do.
They got to be
Yeah.
dirty rotten scoundrels.
Lando's there.
Played poker game.
Sabak.
Win ships.
Full sabak. By the way, I want to have a sabak night. Oh, I told you this. Never mind. That's for everyone at home.
Do you need poker chips?
We're gonna play some sabak,
Maybe, yeah.
whatever they use for currency.
So,
Credits.
yeah. Yep, that's what I was going with. Credit. Oh, I thought you were like, roll credits. This is
Oh,
the end
no.
of the
I was
episode.
going to.
Yeah, we're pretty much done, I guess. We good about start?
Morbius. No, I'm just
I'm glad I could follow the lightsaber fights.
Yep.
Versus the prequels, where it's just spinning and spinning lightsabers, just spinning lightsabers.
a little
Well,
recorded.
that was just like, they look what we can do. Let's just do it all.
Whereas like it wasn't quite necessary in these
Right.
ones. They're like, no, we could just have a fight. Versus like in A New Hope, it's like, oh, evasive maneuvers. They move slightly to the left.
He's just listing lazily to the left.
And now like
This guy knows some maneuvers.
and I'm like, you do those maneuvers, Millennium Falcon, it's gonna fall apart.
Yeah.
Like I'm getting dizzy trying to follow that.
Yeah.
Watching the Millennium Falcon sometimes was like watching scenes from the new Clash of the Titans.
Did not see that.
Me neither.
There's a reason for that because it was real bad and it was dizzying.
I also didn't see the old Clash of the Titans.
It's classic.
They didn't show that.
I did see Remember
Elementary
the
school?
Titans.
Another
That one.
classic.
Yeah.
When they play that on Friday Night Lights.
You're just referencing another football movie.
Little Giants. Am I right?
Well played.
Yeah.
And on that note, Star Wars.
Yeah.
I'm not a hate it or love it on this one.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of saw it and was like, okay.
It's a Star Wars.
Mm.
I'm not angry, but I'm kind of like,
Oh, yeah. For sure. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know it sounds like I fucking have like vitriol to this movie, but like that's the thing. I don't feel passionately strong negatively. I just didn't think it was good, and I don't have the energy to like invest in that, in one strong emotion with it because it doesn't matter to me. Yeah, I mean, I came on to ask my opinion and give it. Thought it was bad, but I don't fucking hate it. And if you liked it, I'm stoked for people who enjoy it. There's a lot of fun. Like I liked a lot of the action scenes, like super fucking cool. The music is always fucking lights out good.
Oh
Like,
my god, man.
yeah, and yeah, it was whatever.
Did we cover feelings on it being like supposedly the final installment of this 40-year process?
You know, it's
We
interesting.
kind of covered that in the beginning.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's like when these previews came out, it was like the end of the Skywalker saga. I didn't really think of the sequel trilogy as part of the Skywalker saga. I just figured it was the next Star Wars movie.
Mm-hmm.
So that was interesting marketing because then it became, this really much was like fucking tying into the originals again. You know what I mean? More so than I think the other two had been. So to me, I was like, oh, okay. So if it's all one continuous thing, but it still doesn't really jive. The 3 sequel movies are very different from each other in bad ways. Not in good stuff. They're all seem like they're telling very different stories. Anyways, fuck this movie. And if you liked it, fuck it.
If we could, do we want any more?
I'll take more Star Wars.
Like in a few years, if they could wedge in,
Wedge was there. Wedge showed up.
If we could shove in, Luke's training temple.
I mean, there's a world in which we get a prequel movie trilogy to this trilogy. Like we get like young Kylo Ren. You know what I mean? Like why wouldn't we? You know what I mean? We get to see how Finn starts to get disillusioned like ahead of like all that shit. Like they could do it. And realistically, like tomorrow Disney could be like, yeah, 10, we're doing it. It's being made and it's going to be Rey is back. Like why they can just make shit up.
And it would be the San Andreas meme. It would just be, oh,
And
shit.
Here we go
Go
again. Palpatine 2. Palpatude.
Palpitude.
Yes.
Tupatine.
Oh shit!
Too patine.
Bad grandpa.
Johnny Knoxville plays Palpatine.
That'd be kind of fun.
And like the canon,
He's someone I'd be convinced couldn't stop lighting it himself.
Yep.
yeah. Like canon is so like people get way too caught up in like they can't do it this way because it's not canon, but like you can just fucking make the rules up as
You
you
don't want
go.
to upset the Star Wars fans.
You could just as easily be like, oh
I
yeah,
think
the
we learned
comics. I know we said that in the comics, but we're actually fuck that. No, the movies. We're gonna do it this way.
There was
You can just make shit up.
There was a tweet that I saw like when the movie had first come out and the reviews were coming out and it was people weren't digging on it very much. And I saw one thing, someone retweeted something they saw on like Reddit or some shit where someone was legitimately asking, is it possible to sue Disney to the point where it would thus negate Last Jedi or Rise of Skywalker from being canon, and you could thus ignore it.
No, I think it was for Last. It was for Last
Was
Jedi.
it Last Jedi?
It was
Yeah.
for everything post Last Jedi.
Right.
Was-
And like the comment on the tweet was like, fandom was a fucking mistake.
Yeah, yeah.
This
That's
is the
horrible.
worst thing we've ever done.
How can we make like what are our, and the thread was like what are our options?
Yeah.
Like legally,
How do we do this
How do we
the
do
right
it?
way?
so that
And
way
it's like, are you
we can dictate. Like Star Wars fandom is gross, and this movie felt like it was made for the worst, like catered to the worst.
because they were so
instincts.
loud at the last one.
You know what I mean? But
So let's make Mara Jade protecting a boffin who has to get plans to they stole secrets. Can we do
that's
that?
like the Mandalorian, except instead of Mary
yeah,
Jade,
but it's Mara Jade, so it's cool.
Who's that?
Right.
She's a person that wears red a lot.
She's not canon, so she does not matter.
Ouch.
She can matter.
But neither does
Maybe she
Kyle
matter.
Katarn, and that was my
What are
boy.
are you guys talking about? Like Rebels?
We're talking about Legends canon, like the old expanded universe stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, that.
You know, the like the books that came out and the comics and the games and stuff.
Gotcha.
Mara Jade actually ends up marrying Luke, right?
I think so.
Spoilers.
Well, not anymore.
stuff
They're
that
all fucking dead.
Ouch. So,
What was the name of Poe's space girlfriend?
Zora Bliss.
She was cool.
Or
She was
Zori Bliss.
I liked her eyes. She had good eyes.
Oh, it's just Carrie Russell.
Yeah, they didn't even show her whole face.
Yeah.
They could have.
Yeah, she was a interesting character. She didn't do anything. She didn't have like a thing.
She was there
Yeah. Here's a toy.
twice.
You know what I mean? Everyone's a toy. You like Babu Frick? Yep. That's a toy. You know what I mean?
Babu.
There you go. Look at that.
shut up. I like Boba
I
Fett.
just want a toy of something that'll yell at me.
I mean, it's.
He had a
there's-
cute voice, and he fixed
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. It's just, you know,
And he killed 3PO. Thank God, man.
but I mean, not really.
I'm just kidding. I was just trying to.
Oh, it's my bad.
I was trying to.
That was
be
a
mean.
real buzzkill
Trying
just
to
now.
be mean.
Fuck that shit. Yeah, I guess this one was the first one where I was very, very conscious of like, oh, this is a franchise like by committee. This is a money making thing. That's all this is. You know, it's just there to feed me nostalgia so that I will give it money to be like, Disney, remind me of the stuff that I liked when I was a kid. Please show me the swords again. You know what I mean? Here's $10. Here's $20.
I need more light swords, please.
Lando in the ship again. Oh God, yeah. But in to the detriment of storytelling, and I like stories, you know, man. Like fuck yeah. But this was like not a story. Well, it was. It was just a stupid one.
I mean, if there's one benefit of this, we are going to get countless video essays, deconstructing,
Yeah.
examining.
Oh, wait until the re-edit of all three movies comes down to one movie now.
Yep.
A fan will just do
We're gonna
that.
get the fan edits the way it should have been. For some reason, it's just only the dudes.
And we got Last Jedi edit with like no women in it. Like what?
Were you guys
Such
at,
fragile little boys.
Yeah.
were any of us concerned at all when Kylo got blasted into the pit?
No,
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's not threatening.
I
That
do
was
that.
Ben actually.
I do like that Ben's
You're right.
his last word is, "Ow."
Oh yeah. What'd you
he
think of the kiss? Thought it was awkward.
It was. It did. I didn't need it.
Yeah.
I think if he hung around and now they could live their lives, I think it would have made more sense. But then again, I suck with symbolism, and
See,
I didn't
So-
need them to kiss.
Ben disappeared.
Yeah.
Leia disappeared.
Yeah.
Qui-Gon never disappeared.
Fuck Qui-Gon. Who gives a shit?
It was an older time. He got gut stabbed.
Oh, like Qui-Gon, like is the first one to learn how to do it. Because
How to
remember
come
at
back
the
as a
end of
Force
episode
ghost?
3, like someone tells Obi-Wan, like, "Hey man, like one of your buddies is trying to talk to you." He's like, "Qui-Gon from the dead." And he was like, "Seriously, the dead speak." Let's put that in the crawl of fucking Rise of Skywalker. Fuck, I had something to say about Ben Solo. Oh, heroic sacrifice that he does. I think that trope is lazy, and does not. I think so often we have a bad character do like I'll kill myself to redeem myself.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't actually
Still
redeem
killed a
their
lot of
actions.
people.
It's a real cheap way of being like you're forgiven by the
Mhm.
story,
Yeah.
That
but he was horrible.
I think an even better example of that, not to
No,
step on your
please.
shit, was Weasley, Ron Weasley, whatever the fuck his name was in the movie. The Chancellor or the
Hux.
yes Hux, because it's like, oh, Hux is a good. He's on our team now, dude. He blew up like 12 planets at once.
He did. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
He murdered
Yeah.
billions of organ people, like.
Well, even
And
then,
and we're supposed to be like, oh, he's cool now. He wants Kylo to lose.
they kind of did, didn't they? They want to be like, look, he's a good guy now. You let him go.
Yeah, like it's like, are you fucking kidding me? Oh, like he's our mole,
But even then, he said he didn't do it to be good. He did it because he doesn't want Kylo to win.
right? But like we're expected to just be like, oh shit, it's Hux. Can you believe that? That's insane.
And
He
he's like-
killed a lot of
his
people.
dialogue is literally, "I'm the spy," just to explain to all your parents that are watching.
We knew that was coming, right?
It was Hux, that guy.
Yeah, that kind of irked me a little bit. You know, just on the subject of
And then immediately
sacrifice. Yeah, and then he just gets bonked.
kill him. Bonked. Shoot him in the
Can you
arm.
imagine if a blaster makes that
shit.
noise?
Bonk.
Bonk.
Bonk, 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 bonk.
Oh my god, I'm dead. But yes, Kylo sacrificing himself, you know, because he learned it from Rey.
He's
Awesome.
the equivalent of like an angry like school shooter kid. You know what I mean? Like turning against like the Jedi school and like all that shit. Like, fuck Ben Solo. Like he doesn't get a pass just because he's Adam Driver. But like also I like Ben Solo. It's weird. It's really complicated. I would hope he was redeemed in a way that like he actually. I wanted him to get redemption, but like just dying is not. No.
I very
You
much
didn't get punished.
I very much enjoyed Adam Driver. I liked Kylo Ren. I thought Adam Driver killed it. I thought he did a great job of I don't want to say he carried the series, but like damn, like
He has a lot of great acting, but he didn't have a lot to do in this one.
yeah.
He doesn't react to a lot of stuff. He looks forlornly. It's a shame. It was a waste of him in this movie. An actor of Adam Driver's talents, you know. This is the third one, man. Go fucking all out.
Space.
Uh-oh.
Inside Llewellyn Davis. I've seen that one scene. Do we have anything else? Talking about Star Wars.
There's been a lot of stuff that, like, they did a lot of J.K. Rowling-y type things where, like, after the movie was over, like, oh, here's all the shit that happened in the movie that you did that we didn't say.
Those are great.
Like, Lando's kid is the stormtrooper girl.
Really?
Nine Nub dies in the fucking
And Nine Nub,
space
they
battle.
confirmed that Nine Nub did die. Yeah,
Which one was 9 Nub?
he's the guy in the Falcon
Lando's
with
cockpit.
Lando. At the end of
yeah.
Empire.
Okay.
Or
Wait,
Return.
so Lando has a kid and then just like lets her get abducted?
I think that's probably why he leaves being a good guy, where he's like, I'm taking off. That's why I'm not in the first two, because I'm upset. Whatever happens. And one of the things that is a little piece of trivia that I thought was cool, that I would have liked to have explored more, was when fucking Ben shows up to try to save the day, and he's got a blaster. That was a gift that Lando got him for his birthday when he was young.
Huh.
And I was like, fucking cool. Fucking sweet. Huh.
Star Wars. It's over.
Wouldn't it have been cooler if, like, instead of, like, Ben going to help Rey, he fucking shows up in the Falcon to help? Like, because the Falcon was on the planet that Kylo Ren was on when he died. And it was busted. So, like, Finn and Poe could have left on some other ship, and the Falcon could have still been there. And, like, Kylo Ren, like, is Ben now, and he, like, fucking gets in and fixes it because it's his dad's ship. Like, that would have been pretty cool.
He probably spent time in that ship.
Fuck yeah, he did. That's why I remember when fucking Last Jedi shows up, and he's like, someone fucking shoot that thing. So good. Yo, Last Jedi slaps. You should watch it again because it's genuinely awesome.
Once Kylo goes into the pit, once Ben goes into the pit,
Thank you.
and then Rey is trying to do the Force lightning with one lightsaber, just not quite working out. I was hoping Ben would show up next to her with the second lightsaber. The two of them would cross them. The two of them would push back the Force lightning.
Yeah.
But it had to be just her.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not complaining that it was just her, but like giving them that team up.
You would have liked a thing together.
I dig team ups.
Yeah.
But I also
Especially when bad guys are helping good guys.
Yeah. But I see how like it had to be her by herself to do it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't get the idea of like, why don't you just stop shooting lightning?
It's not working.
Stop doing it.
Did she have?
It's hitting you.
Did she have any hints of Force healing in previous movies? Was it just like, oh, she healed the giant worm. Now it's a thing she could do.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so.
It's a brand new power that just happens.
I'm okay with that though.
It's in the video
I guess
games,
the
though, isn't
Force
it?
can do. Yeah.
You know, the midichlorians work in mysterious ways, guys. You never know. They're in all of us, you know?
How come Obi couldn't have just Force run through all?
You keep calling him Obi, and it keeps making me kind of chuckle to myself.
Obi Trice.
Obi.
Real name, no gimmick.
Obi too. There was Qui-Gon's got to fight Darth Maul by himself, and Obi could have just Force run through all those doors before they closed. But no, he had to like ordinary person run.
He had to save his Force energy
Like,
for the fight.
by himself.
He's going to get all winded. You know what I mean?
They Force ran earlier in the movie.
Did Qui-Gon Jinn get fridged?
No.
No.
No. Fridging is straight up death, and you really only existed to service the development of another character.
And does fridging only count for is included in the definition of fridging a female character is
don't
only
think
there
so,
to
No. I think you can fridge male
to
characters.
emphasize a male's ambition.
I don't think so. Because Bob got fridged. Stranger
Who?
Things.
Bob got. Oh yeah.
In what?
Bob got fridged in Stranger Things.
Bob
was-
Newby,
Bob Newby.
Oh, yeah.
superhero.
And instead, she fucking is going to date the abusive fucking Hopper.
Man, that video flipped my world.
Right?
Damn,
So good.
Colin sent me a real long analysis of how Hopper's a piece of shit
Yeah.
in Stranger Things 3. and I was like, oh, I really enjoyed this, and now I'm perpetuating it.
Isn't it so crazy? It's so crazy.
So
I feel like it would have been fridging if Qui-Gon had died like in the first hour and not the
Right.
third one.
Mm.
Because for some reason, I feel like that movie was 3 hours long.
nah.
It is. That
If
movie's
I feel like
long.
Phantom
It could have
Menace
just been
was-
3 hours of pod racing, and I'd be content. It could just be a movie on pod. It could be Days of Thunder, but with pod racing.
That was my next question. Was what kind of, if you could get like, or off the top, like what movie do you want next? Like focusing on like what?
Days
like
of
a
Thunder.
person, a thing. Like what's your
but with
pitch?
pod racing.
Days of Thunder, but pod racing.
I just really enjoyed pod racing.
Yeah.
So that's all I really took home from the prequel trilogy was pod racing
There was
and Duel of the Fates.
a few comics where we see Luke like in Darth Vader clothes, in like the black outfit that sounds similar to what Vader wears, and he like force crushes an AT-AT. That's how you say it, by the way. And he had gotten so powerful at one point, he's like, let me try the dark side stuff. It's like, what can't I do, really? And like he kind of like takes a step and like gives it a shot.
Like a power, he's like, I'm a fuck. I'm gonna do something only bad guys can do.
Yeah, and then like he's like, that's not for me, and he goes back, and that's when he starts his school.
Isn't that Mace Windu's thing?
What?
He
Like,
dips into the dark
he
side.
trained in like all the forms of combat and all that stuff, even the ones that you're not supposed to because they lead to the dark side or
I
whatever.
don't think he did all of it because he would have been way more.
He
dark.
wields the dark side while he fights in order to increase his strength, and it's a lightsaber form known as Vapad.
Well, that could have just been totally made up, and I would have no idea.
Oh yeah,
true.
That's all nonsense.
See, now I don't know what to believe.
Just give me Sam Stan. Is that his name? Sam? No, Stan.
Sam Jackson,
No, who's Winter Soldier?
Sebastian.
Sam Sebastian Stan. Just give.
What did you just say? I need you to know. I need to know that you know his name. His name is Sebastian Stan.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you
Let's
kept
hear
saying
it.
Stan Sebastian.
I was saying Sam at first because I couldn't think of Sebastian. You seen a thing
What's his
where
name?
he looks just like Luke?
Yeah.
If we give him the right hair. Just have him like go do dark side for one movie,
You want another Luke movie?
maybe.
You can say yes.
Yeah,
It's okay.
you kind of do.
Did that seem like a judgmental question?
It did.
I mean, you got the whole Skywalker saga.
So you want a Luke movie?
Do you want another
But
one?
with the green saber, please.
Yeah. How he loses it.
How he loses the green one?
Mm.
He has the green one. Up until the school falls apart.
Oh yeah.
Because he's gonna kill Kylo.
Well, I want to see how the school falls apart. I guess that'd be kind of cool. There's a lot of cool shit you can do in the Star Wars
What do you
universe.
want to see?
I want to see the raid, except it's Boba Fett going after a high-ranking criminal, and he gets 7 stories up before a whole Hutt cartel is like, "Yo, Boba Fett is here.
Oh shit!
You guys want to fucking live here rent-free? Kill Boba Fett." And he fucking tears through like floor after floor after floor after floor. Yeah, that's what I want.
What about a whole movie of political intrigue between Bail Organa and how Lando becomes in charge of Bespin?
Like the West Wing.
Yeah. That, give me that.
I'd watch that. Is Donald Glover Lando? Bring it on.
Is he related to Crispin?
Stop. Just stop.
You laugh. But we're mad at you. Enjoy your chuckles. They'll be the last. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot.
I've been sitting
your
on that one
gigs.
for a week.
Get your gigs out. JR looks like he wants to die. There's a lot. He's still going.
He's dead.
See, because no one asked if it's Crispin. They asked if it's Donald.
And that's what I was waiting for you to say. I
Oh,
was like,
now
oh.
it's funny.
I was like, oh, here comes the fucking Donald Glover joke. Or the, no, not the Donald,
Danny
the
Glover.
Danny Glover joke.
You're welcome.
Let's just dead air until he's done laughing. Just so everyone at home knows.
No, I'm good.
We're already coming up on an hour and 45 minutes.
Well, our last episode was short.
It was short,
so
yeah. We got to give the
we'll
people what
we'll
they
make
want. 2 hours of Star Wars.
Yeah. Just like
I'm sorry.
he's crying. Jesus, this is good radio.
This is what got him. It was a joke about Crispin Glover. For 90% of the people listening to this who don't know who Crispin Glover is, he was Grendel in Beowulf.
The secondary antagonist in the Charlie's Angels movie.
He was the dad in Back to the Future.
Yeah,
That's the one.
that too.
That's the one.
I'm good.
So, yep, Star Wars.
I can't think of anything but Glover now. Like the N64 game Glover.
There was a game?
Oh yeah. Man, yeah, Star Wars. That's not the end. We'll get more. Hopefully, some more creative, interesting choices.
Well, there's a whole land and a theme park now. So
which I want to go to. because
I hear it's great.
I want to throw down money and build a lightsaber. I really do.
Someone who I follow on Instagram was there a couple weeks ago, and they were like in the cantina,
Yeah,
and it's so cool in
it
there.
looks cool as fuck. Cool as fuck.
I want some guy to go and say that his friend doesn't like me.
I don't like you either.
Yeah, and I want to cut his hand off. Fucking asshole.
Damn.
That's a New Hope. If you didn't know that, Colin.
I've never seen that one.
There's a character in the bar named Devilman,
Pig nose.
and he
Devilman
looks,
Crybaby.
He looks like a Devilman.
A Devilman.
There's also a guy named Walrus Man, and he has walrus tucks.
There's also a guy named Han Solo.
I like the pilot that Obi-Wan talks to before he talks to Han Solo is just a dude in like a NASA suit. Watch
I
it
don't remember
again. He's
that.
like legit just wearing a spacesuit without the helmet. It's awesome. He just wandered off. It's great.
If you ever go to Star Wars Celebration, the cosplayers are amazing.
Yeah.
Yep.
And a friend of mine saw these twin girls who were dressed up and cosplaying, like, because they're actually twins. And there's two girls in A New Hope in the cantina who were like a pair of assassins or something.
Oh, cool.
And it's like the screen's on them for literally 1 second. Like, that's who we are. We're cosplaying them.
That's awesome.
It's very important.
Yeah. Star Wars cosplay is impressive because it's hard. There's no like easy ones really, except Han. Yeah, I mean like all the other costumes are really impressive. Yeah. Creature designs and stuff. I want to go as Plo Koon, shooting my lightning. Anyways, that's the Star Wars.
That was the opening title crawl. I'm tired, man. Thanks for listening. This was fun.
I had fun.
Thanks for coming on, Colin.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for letting me come on and talk about it.
Thanks for speaking passionately about something.
I mean, I was excited to get to talk this out because I can't really talk about Star Wars on the internet because people get mad. You know, one
Really?
opinion to the other. Yeah. You know, you can't. I don't think you can really talk about like whether or not you like a thing much online because you either love something or you hate it.
Yeah.
You know, and if you don't love something, then that means that you hate it. And so it's very. It can be tricky. Like I can't tweet that I didn't like Star Wars without sounding like a dick, because you can just be like, no one fucking asked. You know what I mean? So it's but you can do that. You know, kind of anyway. So I hope I wasn't super a drag to talk about the things I didn't like, because I feel like I steamrolled you because you liked the movie, and I didn't get to ask you why you liked it so much and then tell you why you're wrong. You know,
The thing is, I don't care.
yeah, it's all opinions. It's all
You know?
it's all how you feel.
I was legitimately bummed when I heard that you didn't enjoy it, because like I want my friends to enjoy things that they're looking forward to.
That's nice.
You know, like
Yeah.
So when I hear that you didn't like Star Wars, or like even just talking with the we were hanging out with Ken a couple weeks ago and we were talking about The Mandalorian, and both of I was like, oh hell yeah, me and my wife were watching it every week. I think it's great, and you guys were both just it's not really doing much for me. I was like, oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah. You know, I mean,
But
it's
it
all-
happens.
It
I'm
does.
not
It does.
gonna dive down your throat for
Yeah.
not liking it.
No.
Like that sucks.
Yeah.
Maybe the next thing.
And I feel bad sometimes because I know you liked the Mandalorian.
Unless you're talking about
from
Beast
a-
Wars. I mean, then it's fucking.
Yeah, what the fuck, dude?
There was better things on at the time.
No, there wasn't. It
Not at 7 in the morning before school.
was Beast Wars into Dragon Ball Z.
See, I didn't have Dragon Ball Z until I was in junior high.
Yo, Beast Wars was so good. Like
We're gonna
Dinobot.
We're gonna take. Oh man, Dinobot right till the end, man. He didn't need no
He's a real
transmetal
G.
shit.
No, fuck that noise.
See, like when my animated characters fight, and like if they throw a punch, the arm should move the way arms move, and their torso shouldn't like spin and just swat with a straight arm, which is a lot of what that show was.
So
It
They
was
were
what it
animated-
was for the time.
They were
like,
animated
the
just
animation, I
so
understand.
that's just
Do you watch black and white things and you're like, where's the color? This is stupid. Why does it look like this?
at this time in my life.
Yeah.
I kind of watch it for different reasons. I don't
Really?
watch it for color, but like,
All right.
see, if I don't want to watch, I'm not going to watch it. if I don't want to. If I think it's not going to entertain me.
That
show didn't do it for me.
Right, yeah. That's just so weird to me.
It's
That's so weird to me because it's an institution. That's what we need is a Beast Wars movie with John Cena.
Make it. So
You say
you
with
say
John
John Cena as Cheetor.
No, one of the early humans
Oh.
with like the really weird chins,
Yeah. Yeah, they were kind
scary people.
of expendable.
Yeah.
But
Waspinator just fucking lighting them up.
remember when
Waspinator.
remember when Starscream Sparks showed up and took over Waspinator? That happened in
It's a good
Beast
episode.
Wars. It was so great.
Beast Wars was fun.
Hey, did you ever watch Exo Squad?
I have the DVDs that
You
you lent me
do.
4 years ago, 5 years ago.
Okay, just curious.
All right.
Did you guys ever watch Arthur?
Yeah.
That was a good one.
No.
Yep. I watched art. You ever watched Little Bear?
Yes.
Love Little Bear. Little Bear was
Oh.
my shit. Fuck Richard Scary. Fuck that stupid show. I hated it. The Weird World of Richard. I can't remember what it was called.
Busy World.
Yeah.
Are we talking about things for 4-year-olds?
We're talking about Nicktoons with Face.
Things for
Hi there.
4-year-olds.
Face here.
I mean, come on.
My mom had a home daycare for 30 years. I had to watch this. Anytime there was a sick day or we were on vacation, you're watching Nickelodeon all day. So,
Be like, oh shit, Franklin's on? Fuck yeah.
fuck Franklin.
Okay.
Blind bitch.
Yeah.
Franklin and Caillou can both get.
You guys like Disney Junior or Playhouse Disney? Is that what it's called?
No, that was a little after.
Oh, I didn't have that. That did not.
Yeah,
exist
me neither.
That did not exist when I was a kid.
No, I hate that stuff. Totally. I didn't love it.
Yeah, fuck that.
I had the Lost City of Gold when I was a kid.
Didn't have that.
Yep.
It's not that I know of.
Bobby's World.
Yep, had Bobby's World. Louie.
Those
Oh, Life with Louie?
bored
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, I didn't like Louie very much. So.
It was weird watching Howie Mandel do stand up and then suddenly start doing Bobby's voice, and I was like, "What is happening?" Never knew that was him.
So.
Star Wars, huh?
Colin, thanks for coming on. This was a bunch of fun.
Hey, thank you. You're welcome. Thank you.
Listen to this episode. When you're done listening to this episode, go back and listen to last episode. Listen to the StarWell Foundation. We're going to have episode 2 next month. There's probably going to be an episode in between then. Maybe?
This one.
This one? Oh, so the next episode
Yeah.
is going to be the continuation of the nail-biting cliffhanger of the first pilot episode of the StarWell Foundation. What is going to happen next? I don't even know. Alex goes to tell me stuff. I'm like, stop, don't tell me.
Mhm.
Because I also want to enjoy the story. Because I'm a piece of shit. So that's going to do it for this week. Colin, thanks again.
You're welcome.
Star
Yeah.
Wars, it was a thing. It happened. We're going to get more.
Fuck yeah.
Too much money to make to not make it. So that's a thing. Nerds are going to be upset. Some nerds are going to be happy. And other people are going to overreact to it and cut the heads off of dolls for fun, apparently.
Yeah, but they have to buy them first, so it's working out.
Yep. So,
Oh, yeah, people did that.
yeah. Yep. Just got to trigger those libs.
See, if you want to deface things, you got to steal it. If you buy it to ruin it, like you're
It's like the people who burn their Nikes when they sign Kaepernick.
what? No,
You're just burning your own property.
see, but what happened is they bought it with
the
intention
intent.
to destroy it.
Right, yeah.
So they created a demand,
Mm.
which is just going to create more figures getting made.
Yeah, but you got to
They-
trigger the libs.
It's like buying out the 2 front rows of someone's show to be like, look, no one's at your show. It's like, thanks for helping me sell out, dude. I'll take your money. You didn't really accomplish anything there, but do me a favor.
Pettiness. Anyways, that's going to do it. Hope everyone enjoyed. It's good to be back. So until next time, I've been JR.
I'm Alex.
And I was Colin.
And this has been episode 397 of Opinions May Vary.